안녕하세요, 유튜브는 just I just did the other intro for my vlogging channel. Okay, what's going on, my pretty pandas? It's your huggable hipster here, and welcome back to today's tea talk, where this is the second time I'm refilming it because my sound drive crashed. It's not called the sound drive, it's called my recording. I don't even know what to call it anymore. I can't English. Can't do the English. This is what happens when you're learning a second language. English goes out the window, and your language that you are learning becomes your primary focus. There's so much I want to talk about in this tea talk. I had to narrow it down to briefly talk about gaming and other subjects because there is, Jesus Christ, there's just a lot going on right now in the Seungri case. There's a lot going on in K-pop, and I really want to dive into those subjects. So for those of you who are fans of Seungri, or if you guys just have anything to do with liking him at all whatsoever, please just keep an open mind. Keep an open mind. I would really love it if people would, instead of just disliking the video because they dislike what I have to say about the subject matter, I would love it if y'all would just keep an open mind, keep honesty on your side, really, because at the end of the day, it's about honesty, with just being honest with yourself, being honest about everything that is happening in this right now, and focusing on what the truth is. That's all. That's all I want you guys to keep inside your head, okay? While I'm talking about it. So if you can do that, if y'all can do that, and y'all don't lose shit, then we'll be cool, okay? First and foremost, I want to say, if you guys are in Korea, there are 6 days left until the BTS album drops. I'm hype. I don't know about you guys, but I'm hype. I'm on KST time right now, honestly, because I wanted the album to drop sooner. But for all of us in the States, it is going to be 7 days left. 7 days! I can't believe that's just 7 days. I cannot believe that the comeback drops in 7 days. Listen, I'm living right now. I'm living, I'm dying, I'm breathing, I'm all of the above. Because when that comeback drops, I'm gonna be screaming like a turtle that just, did something. I don't know what turtles do. Do you guys know what turtles do? I have no idea. But let's get into the video. We're gonna briefly talk about what's happening over at BioWare with Anthem, because it's crazy, okay? It's crazy. So it states here in the article, BioWare boss addresses studio issues and vows to continue working to solve them. By the way, all articles will be linked down in the description below per usual. That way you guys can read and know that I actually do my research. It's just annoying me. I'll come back to that tea spillage in a second. Jesus Christ. I'm very sassy today. If you guys haven't noticed, I am very, very incredibly sassy today. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm just here. I'm just here. You guys will find out why I'm really sassy, but I'm just here. Now, it states here in the article that the head of BioWare addressed a Kotaku report on the studio's cultural issues yesterday afternoon, acknowledging that these problems are real and promising that it is our top priority to continue working to solve them. Now, manager Casey Hudson did a full-on it was a blog post. It was an email saying just at the top, hey, BioWare. Now, you can pause and read it here if you would like, but the full thing, like I said, will be down in the description below so you guys can take a look at it and really get enveloped into it. Now, the gist of what he is saying is very good. Like the fact that he wants to support his team at BioWare. He doesn't want to do anything wrong. I think this post, this entire post that he made to his team is very pure in intention and very wholehearted, and I really like the fact that he took his time with his words. And if you guys are reading it along, while I'm talking right now, you'll see that everything that he is saying is very genuine, and like he wants to move forward with a steady progress. Article coming out about this today. If you guys ever want to check it out after it's done, it'll be linked down in the description below. But currently, as this video is out, I am working on it. Now, it also states here in the article that since the publication of this week's article, I have heard from a number of developers who have worked at beloved AAA game studios with messages like, replace BioWare with my studio, and it's the same story. We can only hope that continuing to talk about and report on these issues will lead to widespread change. Now, running a gaming company in general is a difficult thing. It's not easy to run a gaming company. I should know. I was part of a gaming company, an indie game company being at that, for almost 2 years. And it's one of the most difficult things to have run smoothly. It's like a well-oiled engine. If one of the parts don't work, none of it's gonna work. And you see gaming companies like Capcom and Naughty Dog and Sega and just a lot of places that make really just top quality games they, you know, even Tango Gameworks, I mean, come on, they do some pretty amazing stuff. And you'll see that even they have issues too, but it seems like a lot of the newer issues that are coming up are either from a lot of indie game companies or from these games that are new that are coming out that become really, really popular and people find issues with it later. Like Anthem, I mean, I've heard that it's an absolutely incredible game. I have yet to play it myself, but I would really love to. I know the Anthem hype is real. I know the Apex hype is real. I mean, there are so many things that you have to keep in mind when you are working for a gaming company, like not just the story, but how well all the, I'm going to say cogs, but I mean people, how well all the people flow together in this one universe that they are working with. You have to make sure that their mental health is in check. You have to have people checking in on, okay, is my job secure? Is there career development? Is there something that is going to happen to me? That way I know my job is safe, or do I have to worry? Like the amount of layoffs that people had. They probably didn't see that coming, so it's poor management under the game companies that don't allow enough time for people to understand that, hey, there might be a layoff, get ready, or no, you're safe, you have job security. Not people who are just out of college. These are people who have to feed families and take care of themselves and have mortgages and car payments and all that fun stuff to make. So, you know, it's not like we're dealing with, you know, 20-year-olds who are working out of their parents' basements. It's a lot more complex than that. But the Go article and everything will be down in the description below for your viewing pleasure. You guys just, you know, read it with an open heart and an open mind, because the gaming the gaming universe today is very kind of unstable lately, and it's very sad. Now the next bit of news that we are going to be getting into today are the wildfires that are happening right now in South Korea. I saw the news happening yesterday and I really wanted to cover it in today's Tea Talk, and it states here in the article that South Korea is using military to contain a large forest fire that spread quickly after igniting in Gangwon province. Strong winds moved the blaze from city to city, prompting President Moon Jae-in to declare a national emergency. It also states here that Moon Jae-in's office said that he would cooperate with North Korea on fighting the fire if it spread northward, which is, I mean, you know, the thing is that like we all have an issue with North Korea. We're not gonna, you know, sugarcoat that. We all have an issue with North Korea. But the fact that you know, President Moon Jae is stepping up to the plate and saying, no, we'll protect your people as well. You know, even though they don't have to, but they're doing that anyway. It also states here that the main fire is now nearly under control, according to Moon, who visited the area Friday, taking note of the hundreds of homes and buildings that have reportedly been destroyed. Moon urged the government officials to take extra care of the displaced victims, who, after having lost their homes in an instant, may now find time to catch their breath. Which, it's beautiful what he's doing. I really honestly have a lot of respect for President Moon and what he is trying to accomplish in trying to calm the situation down as best as you can. You know, and as an American, we just experienced a devastating fire that happened in California. Like, that was one of the worst fires I think California has ever had. And, you know, we can stretch the sympathy over to South Korea in Gangwon province, because there have been already 2 deaths that have occurred because of this fire, and I hope that no more continues. Next up, we're going to get into a story that oh gosh, I'm going to be putting timestamps down in the description below so that people can go straight to this or any of the other stories that I covered today, which there was other 2 stories I covered with BioWare and the fire in Gangwon province are the only 2 besides this one. So I mean, you know, I want to put timestamps there just in case, because, you know, a lot of people like their timestamps and they want to know the tea first before seeing anything else. But the reason I was so sassy before was I just find it hilarious whenever people say that, oh, you don't do your research, you don't investigate anything, honey. And you guys know, in reality, the people who have stayed here throughout the channel, through its, you know, through me opening the channel, I've always put links down in the description of the research that I do, of the things that I find, and of the hipster investigates. Just everything that I find for the Tea Talks, I will put down in the description below. That way you guys can read it, that way you guys can formulate your own opinion, because at the end of the day, everything that goes on, and right now we're going to be talking about the Jang Ja-yeon and Seungri, and how those cases are somewhat similar. And I really want to get your guys' opinion on this down in the description below, but of course, be civil. You guys know the drill. No name calling, no harassing. I've had to block a lot of people. Like the block button has been strong with this one. I've had to delete comments. I've had to just, it's been kind of overwhelming to say the least, just because I say that I think Seungri is guilty. Yeah, so many people have a stick up their butt about it. It's just like, what, are you 12? Do you not understand that your favorite did something incredibly wrong and now he's possibly going to serve jail time? Like, I don't understand this. It just gets me very annoyed when people don't understand that, you know, there are a lot of YouTubers, and I've seen this on Twitter so much, and I've seen people say that so many YouTubers do this for clout, and they're not wrong. A lot of YouTubers will talk about these kinds of news stories for clout, for popularity, to get more subscribers, what have you. For me, I don't care about the numbers. I care about facts. I care about showing you guys this news. If I were out for the numbers, I would not be talking about this stuff. Like, honestly, I would not be talking about this stuff. I would be talking about T-Series. I would be talking about PewDiePie. I would be talking about really cringe-worthy things that, you know, a lot of people want to see people's reactions to. I wouldn't be doing all of this work, and I wouldn't be putting in my heart and soul into all of this if I were just looking for the clout. And it just irks me because, like, to explain something for a second before we get into this, is that, like, you guys know that I put my heart and my soul into my YouTube videos, but when people say, aren't you bothered by the comments, aren't you bothered by the things that people have said to you, from the people you've blocked, from the people that you've had to report, and it's like, it does get to me. Like, you know, we're all human. We all have that one little, you know, the thing that breaks the straw on the camel's back, as they say. So what we are going to get into is probably the biggest chunk of this tea talk, is discussing the actress Jang Ja-yeon's suicide and how nobody is talking about it. Literally, nobody is talking about this. It was a case that was reopened from 2009, and I wanted to parallel it with Seungri's case. Now, you guys all know my opinion on Seungri. I can't stand the guy, especially after what I found out about what he's done. I can't with him. But I've had to keep up with the news, even though I can't stand him, to bring to you guys updates on it, because as much as I voice my opinion, there is never going to be a time when all of us as people will know the truth. You realize this, right? We will never know the actual truth of what's going on, because either it's being kept a secret, or people just don't want us to know. Those of the people who don't want us to know, who are higher power in the K-pop entertainment industry, they don't want certain things leaking out. And the one thing that did get out was the translated conversations that Seungri had with one of his friends. Again, all of these articles are going to be down in the description below, even the ones that I did in my research that I'm not showing here, that I'm not you know, explaining here, will be down in the description below, because there is a lot. There's a lot. And for those of you who say that all K-pop and all, like, the different articles are like BS news sources, some of them are biased news sources because they actually want Seungri to be guilty. But there are a lot of those news sources that actually count. Even though it comes from somewhat shady places, they would have had to have gotten their news from somewhere. Now, this article is from South China Morning Post. Now, it states here in this article that the following is translated from a reconstruction of a group chat involving singer and actor Joon-young, who is being investigated for filming and sharing videos showing him having sex with several women. Seungri, real name Lee Sung-hyun, he's part of the K-pop group Big Bang, and Joon-young of boy band Highlight, and Cho Young-hoon of the act FT Island were reported, and I can never say that right without messing up my speech, so apologize for that. They were reportedly also members of the chat room, and famous female entertainers are allegedly among the victims. Now, for those of you who want to see the chat and its reconstructed version, this is it right over here. It's translated from Korean, so this is, you know, this is real. You know, so this is real. This is not something that they just pulled out of their ass one day. Now, I'm not going to read it. You know, you guys can see the vulgarity of it in context right over here. So, and there's another one that they have, it's right over here, which I'll pull it up right over here again. And just the way that they, you know, a lot of sources say that, oh, there wasn't a video, there was only photos, which there are a lot of sources that are very biased, and they'll only say photos, they'll only say selkas, but there will, which is, selka is basically, it's a selfie in Korean, but and this is the next part of the conversation that was also shown, which is right over here. And this is the last one that is also right over here. The one thing that really irks me is that people can do their research and they don't. Nobody bothers to do their research on this topic because they want to believe that their favorite is innocent. Which, hell, you know what? I get completely. Like, you know, you get so attached to a person, you get so attached to their ideals and who you believe they are and who you think they are and how they portray themselves in front of a camera on their VLive, how their persona is, and how they want to make you believe that they are the good one, when in reality it's not always the case. And you guys have to be honest with yourselves, honest enough in your appetites to know that your favorites, you know, they all have the potential to do this. I'm not saying that everybody is, you know, oh my god, the idol, you know, you're not always the good person. No, you know, they all have the potential to be as sinister as this. And the thing is that, like, a lot of people forget the humanity that exists and a lot of the disgusting nature that is in the entertainment industry. And this links actually to Jang Ja-yeon, because she committed suicide back in 2009 due to being raped and drugged, and just a lot of things happened to her in the entertainment industry. It was actually an Instagram post that I'll put down in the description below of Yoon Ji-yeon, and she was actually one of the colleagues of Jung, and she worked with her. She worked in one of the same entertainment companies as she did. Ji-yeon had to relocate herself to Canada because of all of the mess and all of everything that's revisited, and just the entire case being reopened again has basically opened a can of worms. So, and at the hearing of where Yoon was speaking, she had, you know, maybe a few people around her while she was giving, I would call it a press conference, but I'm not sure exactly what they call it over there. I don't know if it's called a meeting or a press conference in a way. But when Seungri stepped out, and, you know, they were like, oh, he didn't even have time to put makeup on. You know, he was, you know, rushing to get out there and everything like that, which I find hilarious, honestly. He had most likely over 100 cameramen there, while when Yoon Ji-yeon was there, not even 10, I don't think, because there's picture evidence, which I'll put down in the description below so you guys can see that as well. So, you know, there's a lot that's there that people don't even notice. Like, this guy was a part of Big Bang and is getting all the press attention in the world, while, you know, Yoon Ji-yeon's former colleague Jang Ja-yeon is not getting anything at all because nobody believes the victim. Nobody believes the female, you know. And in this case, really, it hit home, you know, really hits home with me because I was assaulted. And that, you know, I was assaulted 3 times in my life. And to see this kind of thing happen, and to see how people just ignore, they ignore the victim. They just ignore the fact that their words their words could quite possibly bring down someone who's very, very famous. And the thing that they don't like, a lot of the press and a lot of the media and even Deleuze don't quite grasp, is that these are human beings who spent their life in entertainment. They spent their life having, you know, been told to shut up about a lot of things. Jung Ja-yeon, she was a soap opera actress, you know. She was she was a really good actress. She was one of those people who had a very vibrant personality, who always went out there, and she was a very good actress. Like, if you guys have never seen her stuff, I would really suggest seeing her stuff because it's really, really good. I think actually the thing that she's most known for is a Korean soap opera called Boys Over Flowers. Now, there were a lot of articles that I found on this. We're going to go into one so far. Is it's really interesting to talk about these kinds of things because not a lot of YouTubers talk about this kind of stuff. I'll admit, there are the clout chasers, like I said. There are the people who just want to have the clout. I don't know a better word for it than to call it clout. They want attention. They want to be, you know, fake woke. It states here in the article that Yoon Jae-oh, a former colleague of the late actress Jang Ja-yeon, recently participated in a witness interview in the Supreme Prosecutor's office. States that on March 13th, through her personal Instagram, the actress revealed that she is staying in accommodation provided by the Ministry of Gender Equality and Family. Yoon Jae-oh is known to be Jang Ja-yeon's former colleague who witnessed firsthand Jang Ja-yeon preparing documents before her death. Jang Ja-yeon died by suicide back in March of 2009, leaving behind a final letter revealing that she had been forced to sexually entertain figures in the business and media world, which, well, you know it, same thing that Seungri is having girls do as well. That's why these stories intertwine. That's why it's so aggravating to me, and it pisses me off so much, because your favorite, the guy who you idolize, no pun intended, is doing these things, and you're letting it slip by. You're letting him go under the radar with just a slap on the wrist and nothing else. Like, you guys got so upset when you were like, oh, he has to delay his military deployments. He has to delay everything because he's taking care of his trial. Like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, there are victims like this who have killed themselves over the traumatic incidents that they have endured for being basically a sex slave. And you guys are just letting it go under the covers because it's your guy from Big Bang. Really? Really? My voice just cracked there, but really? Really? Like, I don't understand it. And there's so much that I could say, and I know there's a lot that I'm going to have to edit out, so future Ariel, I'm so sorry for making you go through this. Oh my god. And it's so aggravating to me because, you know, it's just, it saddens me. It breaks my heart to see this. And the fact that this case is being reopened, it's like, finally, you know, it's something that's going to have justice. It's something that's going to be noticed, and people, unfortunately, through this jerk, will have more seriousness brought to this case because of what Seungri has been doing. It also states here in the article that Yoon Jae-oh completed the witness interview with the past injustices and investigation team at the Supreme Prosecutor's office the previous day at 2 p.m. KST. Now, this is the entire Instagram post that she did, which I'm going to read for you guys. And I'll also, like I said, post the Instagram videos that she did down in the description below. She states, "People come first. From my perspective, South Korea is a sad society where people and wealth still come first. Regarding the range of crimes, one cannot determine that some are big and some are small. All crimes must be investigated no matter what. Whenever Jang Ja-yeon's case came up, there were always sensational and irrational reports that were released into the world. Despite seeing this, I had no choice but to take courage. Through one person, it will be hard for society to change in an instant, but like a dandelion seed, I hope that it will help, so that change can emerge in society just a little bit." Looking at all those working in entertainment who are turning their backs, I myself know that they are afraid, scared, and cannot step forward recklessly. But my heart falls apart countless times each day. To share some good news every day, I would secretly pack my bags and move places, but starting today, I will be staying and living in a separate province in the Ministry of Gender Equality. I also took part in the police investigation at 2 in the afternoon, and for the first time, I stood in front of reporters and answered their questions. And I believe that is the she stood in front of the maybe 5 or 6 reporters that were there to hear her testimonial, and Seungri had, what, 60 to 100 people there to hear his? Sad, right? My personal protection has not still come about, so I am searching for a way to protect myself. We filmed for 24 hours, and I handed over the documents, and I am always accompanied by the filming team. Currently, the situation is a little different than the past. For those who are worried and concerned about my safety, I'm reporting once a day and trying to have short live broadcasts as well, which she had a live on Instagram yesterday to update people on her well-being and how she is doing. Honestly, I'm still living because of all the people who are trying to investigate and reveal the truth. I pray that you will always be in good health. Which I really love the fact that this woman, this brave, just strong woman, is stepping out and revealing the truth behind everything, even though it might put her in danger. And I hope to God that she is in a place where she can be safe and she can feel at ease and is rest and is eating well and is doing things to better just the world around her, because it's these small steps that are going to prevent what happened to Jang Ja-yeon in the future to somebody else. So it's really beautiful, the fact that she is stepping out and she's doing all these things, and it's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying to do this because she knows of the possible repercussions. She knows of the things that could possibly happen to her. I want you guys to get it through your head, especially the Delulus out there. I want you guys to understand, and I'm not talking to the people who support me right now. Right now, I know you guys are amazing, and I really appreciate just everything that you guys have been doing. I really, really love you guys. But for the people who say I don't do my research now, and for the people who think that Seungri is still innocent, I mean, you know, the fact of the matter is that we have the conversations, don't we, honey? We have the conversations that I showed. We have evidence. Now, to go further into this, that way you guys have just a little more information on the entire situation with the Jang Ja-yeon. It states here in one of the articles that I found, Jang, then a 30-year-old rookie actress, committed suicide on March 2009, accused her agent of forcing her to attend drinking parties and to provide sexual favors to 31 high-profile entertainment figures and journalists. She hanged herself at her house in Mundae, south of Seoul. God, wouldn't you know? The same thing that Seungri did, huh? Same thing that he's accused of doing. It's the same exact thing, of where he has VIP clients and he has different women who he is gathering to sleep with clients. Similarities, guys? See what's going on here? It's very similar, and this, I'm so glad actually that this case is being reopened. I am so glad. Because finally she's going to get some justice. This entire situation, the family especially, is going to be able to rest a little bit easier. Her friends, her colleagues, the people who really love and support her and care about her, they're going to be able to rest a little bit easier now, knowing, you know, probably more of the truth than what they knew back then. Granted, we still need to hear from, hear if he is actually guilty or not. But all of us know, including myself, including a lot of the people who I converse with on Twitter, who have done their research, it just takes a little bit of typing, and it just takes a little bit of clarity of thought to not be clouded, to understand that he is guilty. Now, that may sound like an ultimatum, like, oh, Ariel, you are now saying that, you know, you think that everybody should think that he's guilty because, you know, all it takes is research. The fact of the matter is, it's all there. It's all there. While it still might be an opinion, which I have to say, because if I say that it's not an opinion, people get pissed off at me. It's all there. You just have to research, and you have to look into stuff. You just have to be brave enough to do your research and not be scared that you might find something that doesn't go well with your taste buds. Painted with rose-colored glasses for way too long with this dude, and you know, while he was the first, you know, person I ever listened to in K-pop, when, you know, gosh, back in 2015, I always thought that, oh, you know, this guy's really awesome, he's really cool, and then after this entire thing broke, it really saddened me to find out that the first person I ever listened to in K-pop could ever do something like this. And it does sadden you. It does make you think of things that you know, that it's like, oh wow, you know, we ate the apple from the, you know, from the forest. We now have our knowledge, and you know, it brings a whole new light to the situation. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys are now a little more educated on more sides of the different stories that have been going on, not just with Seungri, but with Jang Ja-yeon, and what she had went through, and what her friends and what her colleagues are now trying to work towards, to trying to avenge her in a way. But if you guys like my face and what I do, please be sure to subscribe and hit the bell down below, because I upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Just always remember, be honest with yourselves. Be honest in your appetites. Be honest in your research, and realize that, you know, just these things happen. This is entertainment. This is on the unfortunate reality of parts of it. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.